Welcome to the Givebutter demo. My name is Steven. I will introduce myself again as more people funnel in, but this is just time for me to say hello. How are you? It's a very cold day today in Texas. Texas cold. But as you are funneling in, please introduce yourself in the chat. I would love to hear your lovely names, as well as hear where you're from and what's the weather like. You know, I know it's a pretty standard question, but you know, I think it's cold. It's like 50. I'm sure it's full of snow somewhere else. Again, hello, welcome to the Givebutter demo. People are slowly joining us. Ooh, lovely. People are introducing themselves. Hi, Anisha. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I live in Virginia. The weather is mild. Ooh, I would like some mild right now. Tiki from New Jersey, 49 degrees. Ooh, that sounds cold. Christy Gonzalez with Americans Who Tell the Truth. I'm from Boston. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Julie from North Central Washington State. Ooh, chilly today here. I guess it's just a chilly day a little bit. I'm Alexis from Houston. You're Alexis from Houston. 70 degrees, about to get cold. I think that front is rolling in. I live in Dallas, so it's coming here. Oh, Candace, 48 in Dallas, exactly. It's winter time for us now. Hello, Holly. Oh, Holly works here. And Vicky from Southwest Virginia. First frost this morning. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's coming in quickly now. It's coming in quickly. Liborio, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Italy, 7 degrees Celsius. I wish I knew, that sounds really cold. I wish I knew the conversion, but sadly I do not. I will go a little bit quicker. Hello, Linda and Ali and Tanya, Reverend Dr. Jack Sullivan. Ooh. Hello, Alex, Nikki and Grace joining us as well, and Giacomo. Hello, everybody. Again, thank you so much for joining me today for this demo. I was too busy reading everybody's chats. I forgot to start sharing my screen here, but welcome. Today, for the first 5 minutes, as we've been doing, we're just doing a little bit of introductions. Again, if you came in late, my name is Steven. Thank you so much for joining us. Then we will spend around 30 minutes in the demo. And then after that, we have a live Q&A. So if you have any questions as I'm going over things, please use Zoom's Q&A functionality. And so then we can get your questions answered that way much better. If you can, please comment as you've been doing throughout this. I love being able to see people's reactions normally, and since it's a Zoom thing, I can't actually see it, so I'd love to read it if possible. My lovely colleague Holly will be helping managing the chat and as well as answering questions in the Q&A. I believe Kate is also here as well. And the slides and the recording of the demo will be sent in a follow-up. If you want to take notes, feel free to keep taking notes, but you will be sent a recording of this afterwards. You can share this with all of your colleagues that couldn't make it here, or just watch it again. You know, if you want to see the demo or my lovely face again, you can do so. All right. I think I've said hello to everybody. Let's get started here. Let me move this little chat widget out of the way here. Got a lot to take care of. But yes, I'm so happy to be able to introduce to you Givebutter, your next end-to-end fundraising solution. Really excited to show you that we are the #1 rated free fundraising platform across multiple independent rating sites. We are known for our ease of use, our quality of support, as well as the ease of setup. You will definitely see some of that shown off here today. Now, instead of using a mix of outdated and expensive tools, Givebutter brings together everything you need to successfully raise funds, track your progress, and engage your supporters, all completely for free. And so we have 3 different tools, aptly named Raise, Track, and Engage, and I'm going to walk you through that together. So let me actually get out of this slide deck and go into the Givebutter dashboard and show you more hands-on here. So this is your Givebutter dashboard when you make an account, which I hope you do. You will see this. And on the left-hand side here, there's this new campaign button, and this is where we can start. So when you hit new campaign, there are 3 different campaign types on Givebutter. So there are forms, pages, and event campaigns. Now, each one of these build upon each other feature-wise. So we are going to start by looking at the form. Now, here's an example of what a form looks like to a donor after you've customized it. And our form is our simple but powerful donation flow form. So a bunch of things can be customized. You're going to hear the word customized a lot. You can change the background color. You can change the name of the campaign. You can add a description for the campaign. All of our campaigns also have a unique customizable URL. So it could be givebutter.com/something that represents your organization. You can have a gold bar or not have a gold bar. You can turn on fund designation if you'd like as well. For donations, you can turn on recurring donations. You can turn on monthly, quarterly, or yearly, or any combination thereof. You can customize the default donation amounts, as well as add a contextualization for those donation amounts. And you can also, what's really cool about our forms is that we allow donors to pay with a variety of payment methods. So you can donate, they can donate via Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Microsoft Pay, all major credit and debit cards, as well as ACH, if you're a verified nonprofit, which is really awesome. Anytime somebody donates, they will get an automated receipt email as well. And that receipt email can have a custom thank you message attached to it that you can customize, which is really awesome. So yeah, that is our forms. You can also embed the donation form onto your website. So all of our forms have an automated iframe widget code that gets generated when you make it. So let me show an example of one of our users, Project Embrace. They have embedded the donation form directly onto the website, as you can see. They've customized it to their liking, so they changed the color of it. They only turn on monthly, as well as they added their own contextualization for their donation amounts, which is really helpful and really awesome. So as you can see here, you can go through the entire donation process without having to leave the website. So that is a great example of why embedding also is a great idea for your own website. Cool. So now, again, if you do have any questions as I'm explaining, please use the Q&A feature to ask your questions, and then either Holly, Kate, or I will answer those questions as we go through this. Cool. Let's move on to the next type of campaign, and that is our page campaign type. As you can see, it is a more graphic, more socially driven type of campaign. It is the big sister to our form campaigns. So if I hit donate right here, everything that we just talked about for a form shows up here in the donation flow. All the same customizations can be done there. But in addition to that, for pages, you can now add a cover photo here. You can also embed a video that shows up here. You still have the goal bar, but we also have a wonderful and amazing peer-to-peer functionality that I'll explain more in detail in a couple minutes. As we scroll down on this page, you can see that we also have a story section. So this story section is where you can tell everybody why this campaign means a lot to you, and it explains to them what they can do to help. The story section is very, very powerful in telling the story of why, and that's why pages are really useful as compared to forms, which are more of just a donation form type of thing. On the right-hand side, we have our supporter feed. And whenever somebody donates, they have the option, it is optional, to leave a sweet message of support. So you can see here that as donations have come through, it's very often in GIF format or GIF format, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But you can also leave a message, you can draw a picture, you can leave an emoji. All of this shows up in our supporter feed. You can also remain anonymous, but you will be, the donor will be anonymous to the public, but of course, as an admin on the account, you'll be able to see all their information. As we scroll up here, there is a section for what we call a campaign update. If you want to write a campaign update, you can, and it will post kind of to the supporter feed right here. You can, this is a great way to celebrate milestones, to celebrate big donations, sponsors, you know, daily or weekly recaps of what's been going on in your campaign. It's just a really good way to keep the followers of the campaign updated. Now you can pin this update so that it always remains at the top here. And you can also email this update to all campaign followers. Now, this relies on using one of our third tools, the Engage feature, which I'll talk about later as well. But another cool thing about the campaign update is that when you hit this little plus button, there are other things you can add. One of the coolest things is this Canva integration that we have. Canva is a free image editor, and you can design an entire graphic without leaving the Givebutter page, insert it into the campaign update and post it, which is really awesome. Same with YouTube, you can insert a YouTube video as well into this campaign update. So if you want to shoot something, again, as like a recap of how the last couple of days have been to celebrate certain things, you can do it in video form as well, which is really awesome. Cool. Again, you can customize the URL of this campaign, but you can also have your own custom branding at the top of your page, which is really awesome. But yes, let's move on now to talk about peer-to-peer. So as you can see here, peer-to-peer is optional. So you can turn it on or you can have it off for a page. It is your choice. But if you want it on, you can see here, it starts with this leaderboard for all of your team members. And if I click on a team member, I'm going to click on Max, for example. Max happens to be our CEO. But when I click on Max at the top here at the URL, you can see that Max gets his own unique URL. And so when Max shares this to his friends, his family, when somebody clicks donate, it will automatically credit Max with that donation, which is really awesome. What else is cool is that Max can set his own goal here, and all funds raised to this goal bar will flow back into the overall campaign goal bar. Max can also write his own story. Peer-to-peers, the power of peer-to-peer is that people like to donate to people that they know. And so getting a team member to write their own story is very powerful in allowing people to feel more comfortable in donating. So that's why having access to this personalized story section is really cool. And as we scroll down on Max's page, you'll see the overall leaderboard as well as the overall campaign story section. Now, if we go back to the main page here, peer-to-peer has a couple of varieties, again, customizable options. You can turn on what we call public fundraising. So right now there's this fundraise button. And if I click that fundraise button, I can join as a team member, or anybody can join as a team member. They just need to make a Givebutter account. They can join as a team member. Now you can also turn that off so that only people that you have specifically invited can join as a team member. That is your choice when setting up your page. You can also set up multi-team fundraising. So you can have, team A versus team B versus team C, and you can have people be able to join any of those teams if they want. Or of course, you can make it so only people you invite can join. So a lot of options with peer-to-peer there. Cool. Again, I see some people asking questions already in the Q&A. Thank you so much. Please ask some questions using the Q&A when you can. All right, so let's move on to the third type of campaign, and that is our event campaign. Now, our events campaign looks very, very similar to our pages. As you can see, it still has the cover photo, the peer-to-peer functionality, the story section, the supporter feed, campaign update, all of that. But in addition, it now lets you sell paid and free tickets. So you can have an unlimited amount of ticket types. You can have a quantity limit to those tickets. And again, on Givebutter, you can set up an event so that it is an in-person event, a virtual event, or a hybrid event. And what's really cool is that if it's an in-person event and somebody buys an in-person ticket, in that automated receipt email that all donors get, in-person event ticket buyers will also get a QR code that they can bring to the event, and you can actually scan using Givebutter to check them in. So that's a really handy tool for in-person events. If it's a virtual event, when somebody buys a virtual ticket, they will get a link that you have pre-prescribed ahead of time. So whenever somebody buys a virtual event ticket, they'll get a link to the virtual event. And if it's a hybrid event, if somebody buys an in-person ticket, they'll get the QR code. If they buy the virtual ticket, they will get the link to the live stream. So that's really amazing. What else is amazing is that you can also embed like public live streams onto your Givebutter page as well. It will show up right here. So we support streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Vimeo. So if you are streaming to those, we have a lovely, lovely Help Center article. Well, we have hundreds of Help Center articles, but we have a really lovely one to explain how to set all of those things up. What's really cool about that is you can be live streaming, directing people to come to this event page or Givebutter page, and they could be donating and watching at the same time. And you can also see kind of the gold bar being updated in real time as well, which is really awesome. Cool. So that those are our three different campaign types. But everything that I've kind of showed you here is all kind of the donor facing stuff. So I want to show you a bunch of the stuff that we have in our dashboard to help you manage those things. So we are going back to our Givebutter dashboard. Again, we talked about all three of these campaign types. But I also want you to look at on the left side here. So everything we just talked about was part of Raise, which again is helping you raise money. But our second tool is Track, and Track is the world's first free nonprofit CRM. It allows you to track all of the things and the information that comes in via Givebutter. So as you can see here, you can track all the transactions that have come through. As you can see here, I can click on any of these transactions to get more details of it. I can also track all the recurring plans as well. For recurring plans and for transactions, there's a little search bar here at the top, so you can search for different names, search for different things. But this also gives you a good snapshot of the total, active amount of recurring money coming through, how many plans there are, the average amount of each plan. You can see which ones are green for still going or red that are canceled. You can also track your tickets, all of the tickets that have been sold, whether they're digital or not, whether they're checked in or not. But most importantly, you can also track your contacts. So using Track, you can have an unlimited amount of contacts, just like for Raise, you can have an unlimited amount of campaigns. For contacts, one of the really awesome things is if I click on a contact here, like Santa Claus, you can see a timeline of everything that Santa Claus has done and contributed. So you can see here the contributions, the amount of recurring plans, as well as all the information that Santa Claus has provided. You could also add some notes, which is really awesome, but you can also add tags. So we have a really robust tagging system where you can tag certain things and certain people. And the reason that you might want to tag somebody is because if we go back to our main contact screen, we can filter by a bunch of different things, including tags. So for example, if I want to filter by some tags, I can do so. And I could also filter by other things like total contributions, contacts since a certain date, date of birth, things like that. And once I have a combination of filters that I want to use or that I want to see, I can start saving that as a segment so that you don't have to search for all of those filters every single time. You can just set up a segment so that you're always looking for certain things. So for example, we have a segment for VIP supporters, which is everybody who's donated more than $250. And seems like it's actually not updating there. So let me hit a little refresh there. Okay, we might be having a little technical difficulties, but normally when you hit filter there, it will filter all of the people that have donated $250 or more. I can probably do that here. Normally, okay, maybe not. Apologies for this. We're always improving our software, and sometimes that means breaking our demo account a little bit as well. But being able to set up these segments is really important to explain the third tool that we have, which is Engage. So Engage is our Givebutter marketing tool. It allows you to send targeted emails and coming soon, SMS messages as well. So to set up Engage, the first thing you have to do is connect your email domain. Sounds a little weird, but we have wonderful helps and articles to help you through that process. But by connecting your email domain, what that means just means if you have a custom email domain, like @givebutter.com, you can connect that to Engage so that when I send out an email via Engage, it will come from, Steven@givebutter.com. That's the most important thing is connecting your email domain. Once you've done that, you can start sending out messages. So the first screen here is your message history. This is a history of all the messages that you sent out. You can see here like the number of people that it was sent to, as well as how many people have opened or how many emails have bounced or unsubscribed, things like that. These stats are really good for analyzing kind of marketing strategies and targeted messages that you want to send. You can also schedule engaged messages to go out as well as draft them ahead of time. But I'm just going to hit on new message here just to show you a little bit of the process. So the first thing you would need to do is choose who to send it to. Again, these are meant for targeted messaging. It's not really meant for one message at a time, although you can use it that way if you like. But this is where those segments really come in handy. If you have pre-set up these segments, you can say, I want to send an email to my VIP supporters. It did update here this time, which is really cool. And so these are the 9 people that I want to send this next email to. Now this segment does update in real time. So let's say somebody else donates $250 today. If I send this email out tomorrow, it will update to include that 10th person. So that segment is kind of always looking through your contacts to make sure you have all the updated contacts. Once I've chosen who to send it to, I can hit next, and then I can start drafting the email. Again, you can choose who the sender is, right? It could be Steven at Givebutter, or Holly at Givebutter, or Kate at Givebutter, wherever it is that you would like the email to come from. You can, of course, write a subject line, and then, of course, design the message. We have, again, a bunch of different little blocks that you can add to help make it really easy for you to create your message. We still have that Canva integration here, like I showed you on the supporter feed, so that you can design a graphic, insert it in here without too much trouble. You can always preview the email, as well as send yourself a test email just to see what it looks like. And then once you're ready, you can, of course, send this out. If I did not mention this before, I should, because you can send an unlimited amount of messages out for free on Givebutter, just like you can have an unlimited amount of contacts and a limited amount of campaigns. And so you might be wondering, maybe a question was asked, but Holly and Kate are doing a wonderful job of answering all these questions. But like, how can this be free? So I do want to explain to you how Givebutter works here. So Givebutter is supported by 100% optional tips. So by default on your campaigns, donors have the option to tip Givebutter. As you can see right here. Now, this is something you can turn off, but as long as the option to tip is available, that doesn't mean donors have to tip. It just means as long as the option to tip is still available, there are no platform fees. Now, there is a processing fee. Remember that I said that we accept all those different payment methods, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, all of those things. Stripe is our payment processor that helps us with that. And so there is a Stripe processing fee of 1.9% plus 30 cents per transaction for ACH payments, and 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction for all of the other ones. We also give the option for donors, apologies, to cover those processing fees for you as well. And we find that 95% of donors on Givebutter cover fees when asked. So your effective fee, quote unquote, to use Givebutter is extremely low, less than 1% in most cases. Now, we want to give you the options on Givebutter. We want to be give you choice. So if you choose not to have tipping turned on, you can turn that off. And in that case, you are opting into a platform fee of 1%, 3%, or 5%, depending on the campaign type. Again, donors have the option to cover those for you as well. But you can also turn that option off. And if you turn that off, then you will be absorbing those fees as an organization. But Givebutter doesn't have any contracts. We have no monthly costs or monthly fees. We have no hidden fees. This is how we make our money. And this is how we are able to give all of these things for anybody to use for free. Cool. So I just did a lot of talking, but that is going to be it for the demo portion of today. So we can move on into the Q&A section. Again, I see a couple of questions already in here. A bunch have already been answered, but if you do have a question, please write them down right now. And let me get a sip of water, and then I will answer some of these questions. Let me go back to the dashboard real quick. Awesome. So we have a question from Lee. Lee asks, we have several teams. Can each team connect their email address? So that's a great question. So only one email domain can be connected per account, but domain means like at givebutter.com. So because you can choose which sender it's going to be, you can have a Steven at Givebutter and a Kate at Givebutter and a Holly at Givebutter. So if each of your teams uses a separate at something, 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 or then you can only have one of those per account. Hope that answers your question. Next question here, we have Christy. Christy asks, are there tracking tools to see who has opened emails and clicked through to donate? Great question. So I will show you again where you can see who has sent emails or who has opened emails and clicked, who has opened emails, if it's bounced or if it's unsubscribed. You won't be able to see who has clicked through all the way to donating through this statistics section. But if I wanted to view a list of all of the people that have clicked or opened or bounced, you can see here that it does show some of those statuses. That is a great feature request that maybe somebody can write down if it's not already there, to be able to also see who has clicked through and made a successful donation. That would be really cool. As you can see, we do track if it's been clicked. But yeah, that is a really great question. I see Kate is helping me with that. So I'm going to answer the next one here. Nikki asks, how is the tip presented to the donor? Do they know it's going to Givebutter? Absolutely. Let me show you what that might look like here. So let me just go through kind of the process here. So in this case, actually, let me show you on one where it is the default settings here. Oh, okay. I apologize. Normally, let me try with this one here again. So this is normally this is where you can write your supporter feed. Okay. Normally, there's a section here that says if something can be. Let me actually try. I apologize. This is a little sloppy of me, so I apologize here. Here we go. So on Project Embrace's site, this is what it normally looks like by default. Some of our demo accounts are always kind of being changed a little bit, so I apologize for that. But you can see here that it shows the donation amount as well as the credit card processing fee, as well as the optional tip to Givebutter. It very specifically states what each thing is going for. So you can see that the fees are the fees, the tip is the tip, and the donation is the donation. Now I can change this, of course, to something else, more or less, $0, something like that. The option is still there. So I hope that answers your question there, Nikki. Thank you for being patient there. Cool. Casey asks, can this platform be used for staying in touch with donors and supporters, including sending updates or newsletter emails that are not associated with fundraising? Great question. So again, that is what Engage can really help you do. Once anybody donates, their contact information is now in track. So you can email them with updates on what your organization is doing. You can email them newsletters as well if you'd like to set those up via Engage. You can, again, email them with any interesting ideas that you might have. Engage is really there to be your marketing tool that you can use. So perfect example of what Engage can do for you, Casey. Cool. What's another question? All right, Tish, I hope, again, I'm saying your name correctly. Do donations through Givebutter sync with QuickBooks, assuming the software integrates with QuickBooks? So great question. Let me actually show you the, we have on our main page, givebutter.com/integrations, you can see a big list of softwares that we integrate with. So QuickBooks is one of them. And the way that we integrate with QuickBooks is with QuickBooks Online. And we do it via Zapier. So Zapier allows you to set up these zaps so that you can zap the information to QuickBooks Online, as well as I believe you can sync payouts as well, or map custom fields or custom objects into QuickBooks from Givebutter. So all of that is done via Zapier, which has a free tier, but Zapier is a separate software that might require paying if you want some of the higher tiers. But that is how the QuickBooks integration works. All of our different integrations, it will tell you whether it's a native one or powered by something else. So again, Zapier powers a lot of our integrations here. That's a great question. Casey asks, if we have a live event and want people to be able to donate on the fly through their phone or with a QR code, is that a possibility? That is a great question. I did forget to mention our awesome text to donate and scan to give options here. So all of our campaigns have the option to turn on text to donate and scan to give. So whenever you create a campaign, a QR code is automatically produced here for scan to give. So scan to give is really useful to be printed on marketing material, or if you have a physical location somewhere. If somebody scans the QR code, it will bring them the campaign URL. So that, again, that's really useful. A lot of people are way more used to QR codes now than they were 2 years ago. So scan to give, it can really help you in in-person environments or marketing materials. Text to donate is also an option. So all of our campaigns, you'll need to create a unique campaign keyword, and you would text that keyword to this number, 202-858-1233. And when somebody does that, it will come back the URL of the campaign. So these are both ways to help get the URL of the campaign to a donor, and then they could go through the donation flow like normal. To clarify, just in case, they are not actually donating through the text message. The text to donate part just spits back the URL so that they can donate through the web page on their phone. Cool. Thank you so much. Christy asks, can you track thank you notes in person-to-person meetings? Great question. So if I, tells me to reload it, maybe they're fixing it while we were talking. If I click on a contact, you can add an event right here next to the timeline, and you can add whether you had a phone call or an email separately or a note, something to help you keep track of person-to-person meetings or things like that. Thank you notes, when somebody donates, they can leave a message and you'll be able to see all of those messages in the transaction. So if they do leave a message, it will be seeable in track in this messaging section. So it's the same if they leave a message in the supporter feed or something like that. All of those can be seen via the transactions tab here. Awesome, great questions. Anonymous asks, how do transactions show up in your bank account, i.e. one amount for all donations in one day, separate donations, etc.? That is a great question. So let me show you quickly how payouts kind of work. So once you connect your bank account, and all accounts, to be able to start publishing campaigns, you will need to connect your own bank account. And by doing so, you're actually also creating that Stripe account, the Stripe Express account that we were talking about earlier. So by connecting all of that, as you can see here, all of our campaigns are shown separately here. And you can withdraw funds also separately, but they all come together. Like, for example, if I withdraw 3 of these right now, they will all come together in one kind of lump thing per day. Now, you can withdraw every day, you can withdraw every month, every week, every 3rd day, whatever is best for you and your organization. But at least if you click it multiple times per day, it does lump it into one amount. I hope that makes sense. But really quickly, just since we're on this page and somebody might ask, when you click on one of these campaigns, you can see like the total amount raised online, all the fees not covered by supporters, your paid out or your pending paid out and available balances. All funds remain pending for 48 to 72 hours, depending on, we are looking for things like fraud and for funds to settle from all of these different sources, waiting for refunds, things like that. But once it moves into your available balance, it's in the green little circle, you are free to withdraw as many times as you like. Cool. Mary asks, number one, can donations be filtered? Sorry, can donations be filtered, i.e. donors who gave over $100, filter by date? And what is your customer support like, if any? Oh, I'm so glad you asked the second question, or both questions. Yeah, let me show you for transactions. So transactions also have the same kind of filtering capabilities. You can also search up here in the search bar, but you can filter for example, gave over $100. So we can say, let's filter for everybody greater than $100. Well, look at James with the almost $1 million. That's really cool. You can also filter by date. So we can do date. You said, you know, after or over Thanksgiving. So you can say between this day and this day. You know, let's say for those 2 weeks, something like that. Obviously, it's in the future, so it hasn't found anybody, but you can definitely do that for donations. Again, you can also save these as segments as well, which if you find yourself having to filter the same things over and over again, you can just save that as a segment. And what is your customer support like? Amazing question. So our customer support team is, I mean, they're award-winning, they're awesome. On the Givebutter dashboard in the upper right-hand corner right here, there's a little chat widget. If you click that, you can start talking to our support team right here. They're available from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. They have an average response time of under a minute. You know, we don't use any robots or anything. Everybody you talk to is a real person really trying to help you answer your questions. So if you do have any questions, as you make an account, start messing around, start trying to create campaigns, you can message the support team through the chat widget. You can email them at support@givebutter.com as well. But even if you're just on the main homepage, maybe you haven't made an account yet, you're just looking at all the different features we have, integrations we have, things like that, and you want to ask a question, in the bottom right-hand side here, it's that same widget here as well. So you can talk to our support team. So great question, thank you so much. Tanya asks, if we already have a list of donors and their contact information, can we import this to our Givebutter account for future use? Also an amazing question. Yes, you can. So if we go to our contacts, there's a little import button in here in the upper right-hand corner. So you can import a list of all of your contact information from any other source that you have. It is some manual work because you do need to organize it and make sure that your data is correct. Via these kind of columns here. Now you can save it as a CSV or Excel sheet or any of these different formats and upload it directly, or you can copy and paste it into these columns. But these are the columns of information. It might be a little bit hard to see, but that we kind of save and accept. So, you know, first name, last name, email addresses, address, phone numbers, birthdays if you have them. You can pre-set up tags and stuff so that when you import it, the tags will already be there. Twitter URL, LinkedIn, things like that. So we definitely support the ability to import contacts from other sources by doing this. Great question. Oh, that question just went away. Christy asks, yes, can somebody have more than one tag? Absolutely. Each contact can have an unlimited number of tags. Again, we do have quite a bit on the test thing, but you can have as many tags as you like. So definitely the more effort you put in to tag your contacts, the better your targeting messages can be, because you can target them a little bit more. Cool. Oh, okay, awesome. Keep them coming. Keep them coming if you have any questions. We still have a couple more minutes here. Christy asks, can you sort your data by region, city, or state? So for the filters, you cannot do region, city, or state. I believe, actually, I don't know if this will work on the testing, but it might not. But you can always export the data. So right here, you can export the data and manipulate it via Excel or numbers in however you want to see fit. I don't actually. So I searched for Texas, right, TX. And so, for example, I did find some people with Texas addresses. So you can definitely do that. I do think there might be sometimes maybe if somebody's name is Texas or something like that, that might be a little bit problem. But again, you can always export your data and manipulate it as you see fit via the export right there. Cool. Mary David says, is it possible to see how many people actually read or opened your email? Absolutely. Again, if we go to our Engage tab, it starts with this message history. So if you click on any of these are messages that we've already sent out, you'll be able to see how many people have opened it. And if you hit view list, it will show you the exact people that have opened, bounced, or it was unopened. So yeah, so you can see how many people did it and whom did it. Who did it? Whomst did it? I was a math major, so I apologize for that. Yes, great question. Any other questions? I'll give it a quick second here. Oh, we got a question from Mary David. Do you integrate with Eventbrite? To be honest, I actually don't know off the top of my head, so I'm just going to go to our integrations page here and search for it. It looks like we don't have at least a page for Eventbrite, but it might be possible via Zapier separately. That may be something that we need to look into, but at least it is not one that we normally promote. So that is a great question. Mary asks, again, is there a way to create free events? Absolutely. So when you create an event, you can set your tickets. Again, you can have an unlimited amount of ticket types, but you can also price them how you want them to be. So you can have a free ticket to an event as well. Again, that could be an in-person event, virtual event. As long as you just make it free, when people sign up, you'll get their donor information in our database as well. So absolutely can have free events. Lots of organizations love to host free events as well. Kevin asks, do you sell or share contact information? I am sure that there's a legal answer here. It is my understanding that we do not sell nor share any contact information with anybody. There might be some legal wording of that somewhere. So I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn there. But yeah,
I'm going to jump in on this one for Stephen, because this is a really important legal question. Givebutter does not sell or share any donor contact information in any way. So all of your contact information is completely safe and is only provided directly to you guys, the admins on your account.
Perfect answer. I really appreciate that, Kate. Anything else? We have like five minutes left. Oh, that time just flew right on by. Mary asks, if there is a major change to your system, i.e. suddenly there is a cap on accounts, how long would we have to accommodate that kind of change? That's a great question. As an employee here, we have no plans of suddenly changing any caps. When we say something's unlimited, we intend to stand by that. But if anything does change in the future, we will communicate that ahead of time to you. But we change a lot of things. They're always like additions and new features and this, and we love communicating that stuff as well. We like to announce change because as a company, we're always changing for the better. And yeah, I can hopefully quell you on any concerns there that, yeah, Givebutter is about transparency. It's one of our founding kind of principles. So we want to be as transparent as we can. And that's been our ethos for since our co-founders founded the company. Cool. Well, thank you. All right, nobody else. All right, thanks everybody for joining with me today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week. I hope it's warm. I hope you can cuddle under a blanket later on after this. Yes, thanks everybody for joining me. Please, if you have some time, sign up for an account. It's totally free. You can start creating campaigns just to see what it's like. And you can ask our support team for help whenever you'd like as well. So until the next time I may talk to you, I'll see you then.
You turned this from an idea in a dorm room into the #1 rated fundraising platform on the internet.
You raised over $100 million for charitable causes just in the last year.
You are making the world a better place, one gift at a time.